Oh, I'm going to interrupt the guys. That's Rich Shop Rambler singing us in. This is 1100 at WSGI. I'm U-Turn Laverne, and this is One Street Over. And oh, I love it when we bring in live music and all that stuff. And the girls cannot hear what's going on over, because I've got the mics turned on. But I was playing. You are familiar with Rich Shop Ramblers, right? And One Street Over. Y'all know those guys, right? Okay, one of y'all are going to have to get up on the microphone and lean in for me. I got Amelia and Reagan Brown. They are the She's My Sister bluegrass band. And you're also the member of a couple of other bands. One of you girls get on there and tell me, what are the other bands that you're part of?
We're also a member of the Tri-State Ramblers.
Tri-State Ramblers. And y'all been getting some attention lately. Number one, you're just so stinking talented. And I've known y'all for a few years because I have toyed with playing instruments, and I'll pop into Springfield Guitar and take lessons every now and then. And I have no discipline when it comes to it. But these young girls, they do. So much now that, are you teaching now? Which one of you?
Yes, ma'am. I am.
Okay, so and it's Amelia, right? Amelia and Reagan. So Amelia's already teaching guitar. And how old are you?
I'm 15.
Are you kidding me? 15 years old, and you're like, I'm going to just teach guitar. I'm just that good. But y'all are so talented. I've heard y'all. You're just wonderful. And mandolin, I have fallen in love with mandolin, but I can't play it. I play mandolin guitar, but not well. And, I'm very much, so much respect for the discipline you girls have to do what you do. And so we wanted to get you guys in here. I know y'all got to get off to school, so we got to get right to it. Danny Atchley's here. Explain the reason why all this ties together for me, because we had the article that came out in the Connection. Right. So you put it on. Danny Atchley, historian extraordinaire, history museum. Yes, I need to pay my history museum dues. I forget to do it. But yeah, I've got to do it because it's like, we need to talk about that. But here's the thing. It's such a contribution to what we do here, keeping our history alive. And so we all need to be a member, so you need to set it up where it just reoccurs.
Well,
can you do that?
Yeah, I think we probably can. We're trying to move into the 20th century. We've been in the 19th century for so long.
All right.
But we're working on a lot of different things. But anyway, back to why I'm here.
Yes.
And yes, you mentioned Amelia and Reagan Brown and the Tri-State Ramblers. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we've had the girls, She's My Sister, perform for us at the museum for some public events that we've held up there. A couple of times, and then the Tri-State Ramblers, which is their bluegrass group that they are members of and have been for a while. We had them last Christmas come up and perform for us during Breakfast with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, Breakfast with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And anyway, the group was out in the big room there at the museum, and we've been told before that the acoustics there are just outstanding. Mm-hmm. In fact, some have even said why they're as good as the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, which may be a stretch, but still, the acoustics are very good. So anyway, I was listening to them along with Reagan and Amelia's mom, Dr. Danita, and we were just talking, and I said, boy, these kids sure do sound good in here. Wouldn't it be nice if we could figure out a way to record them? And Danita said, yeah, it would. So sure enough, we started talking, and I contacted some people that I thought could help us, one of them being Travis Gotcher of Springfield Printing, who has some really terrific recording equipment where he can record a concert or record a performance of about any kind, really. And then also Jim Steluto, who recently, he and his wife Tara moved to Springfield a couple of years ago, and we've gotten to be good friends with them through the Historical Society. And it turns out Jim was a former Music Row executive down in Nashville. And anyway, we got talking. I said, well, we're thinking about producing a album of bluegrass music by the Tri-State Ramblers. And he said, would you be interested? And he said, of course. And so sure enough, we got to talking more, and we put together a date, and it was back in April, where we brought in the Tri-State Ramblers. We sold tickets, limited number, because at the time we could only seat about 50, 60 people in there. And we put on a live show, the Tri-State Ramblers, live at the History Museum. Mm-hmm. And there's the album. And by the way, that is signed by all the individual members of the Tri-State Ramblers, and that is yours to keep.
Aw, thank you.
Aw,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, there
Thank
you go,
girls.
There
Yes.
you go. So
So cool, and y'all just look so great on here. This is so
And
cute. I just love
we-
this. I'm so excited for y'all. This is so fun.
it was a
This
beautiful,
is so fun.
Saturday afternoon. We had a really great photographer come up who's friends of Danita's, and Randy Hughes, and he made photographs all around the square, 638, in front of the courthouse, in front of the History Museum. And these are the photos in there, and you can open that up.
That's
and
so
you've
cool.
got
I noticed the
photographs.
photos immediately.
And
so
then
he did an excellent job.
He did
Yes.
an excellent job. And you know what? That's all the kids. You know, the cool thing about the Tri-State Ramblers is they are 3 sets of siblings.
Yeah.
You got Amelia and you got Reagan from Springfield. And then you've got Noah and Lily from Elkton, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Ty and
Connor.
I always leave out Connor. And which one's the banjo player?
Connor.
That's why we leave him out. There's a running joke. They always make fun of the banjo player.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is, but they do. But
I
anyway,
know a lot of
so
banjo players would be like, yeah, we get no respect.
these kids are terrific. And the oldest
Amazing.
one is like 16 years old, and they've been playing together for 2 years. They've been winning music championships. They not only do they play instruments, they also clog.
I know. They're amazing.
You know, it's just incredible how talented all these kids are, and how nice they are. I mean, yes sir, and no ma'am, and yes ma'am, and they just enjoy playing together, and they're almost like a family of siblings. I think all 6 of you. Is that a pretty accurate description?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I've gotten a kick out of when I've gotten to see them, and as I was playing Ridgetop Ramblers coming in, and the bluegrass, the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, and the band, the fiddle competition, and all that we have the night before. So I've seen the kids at work through all that,
Yeah.
and because Danita's been coming in, and so I've been exposed to their talent,
Yeah.
and seen them clog and do all the things, and it's just cool, and I just think it's just neat, and so proud of you guys. But now, what's all this about the everything? Did you cover everything in the article? There was something you did. I don't know. So it was the article was all about what y'all did at the History Museum,
What we did at the History
and all of
Museum.
that, right?
I
I was just making sure we unpacked all of
I
that.
fashioned
So,
together kind of a press release and got with Tyler Graves, who's with the Robertson County Connection, who, by the way, they are big supporters of the Historical Society and all
Right.
the other nonprofits in Robertson County. The Connection does a really good job for us.
They do
as
an
does
excellent.
Laverne, by the way. We
Well,
appreciate
thank you.
everything you
My
do
pleasure.
for us. But anyway, it was a nice article. We got front page,
Yeah.
and it shows the kids, the photographs, and it tells the story of that, which, we're not, the History Museum, we want to celebrate our history in Robertson County, but bluegrass music is part of our history.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, all kinds of music. We've got a musical history that stretches way back to the beginning of Springfield and Robertson County. So, but these kids play a kind of an up-tempo bluegrass too. I mean, it's traditional bluegrass in the vein of Flatt and Scruggs and Bill Monroe and some of the rest of them, but they bring a little something to it that I really enjoy, and I've always been a bluegrass fan anyway. And in fact, I was even in a bluegrass band for a while, so I can appreciate what they're doing.
I heard their granddaddy call it one time happy music. It's just happy music, right? Right?
It is,
Yeah.
even when they're playing a sad song,
It's just happy
it
music.
makes you smile.
So y'all gonna play something for us, girls?
We can, yeah.
Let's do it. What do y'all want to play?
We're going to play a song called Don't You Call My Name.
Do it. Let's hear it. She's my sister, Amelia and Reagan Brown, and thank you so much for being here.
My name 'cause I won't answer. Don't you call my name 'cause I won't be there. You cheated on me here for your last time. Don't you call my name, little boy, 'cause I don't care. You ran around, you had your good times. You said you loved me just the same.
love it. I love it. That is Amelia and Reagan Brown of She's My Sister. And I just love it. That is wonderful. I need to take a quick break and we'll get right back to it. We're talking to She's My Sister and Danny Atchley about the event they did at the History Museum. And, just to drive home the fact that you need to be checking out our History Museum. I was joking around that I've been a member, but then I forget to pay my membership and all those kinds of things. Y'all got
the only one.
You've got to get on the thing where we just automatically renew because we're all wanting to do it. But it is, if you've not been to our History Museum, guys, get out there. There's all kinds of fun events coming up. Do you have a list of some events you can share when I come out of my break?
The next big one we got the picnic.
Let me come out of my break. Let me think about it. And girls, then I want to know from you guys, what do your friends think about what y'all do? Okay, so I want to, those are the two things we're going to talk about when we come out of the break here, but we're going to pause and talk about Veterans and Motorplex. It's so funny. I have friends of mine going, where can I get that magazine? Where can I get that magazine? This is a $40 value on the back of this. I had Debbie Keenan in yesterday. She and her husband Bob Keenan Group, they published this Let's Talk Trash. Well, they're still, until they put the new one out, Bob will refill the little holders with them around town, so you can still find the one that was published at the end of the school year around town. That back page can be used anytime during the 2023 season at the racetrack, and it will get in up to 6 kids and 2 adults. You can't get 4 adults in, but up to 6 kids and 2 adults for free with this back page. And if you've not been to the races and you think, I don't even know if I like the races, you will. You'll have so much fun. It is a blast. You've got local favorites that come out. You've got teenagers out there racing. They'll have they'll have big wheel races sometimes with the kiddos and great concession stand. It's just fun. It's that camaraderie of the community. I just can't say enough about it. It is a great time, and this is your chance to go free if you grab this back page. And they're at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. I'll remind you though too, follow them at Highland Rim Speedway on all their social medias. When they changed it to Veterans Motorplex, they kept the Highland Rim Speedway social medias because they had so many followers, and that's where they'll post if they have rain delays, what's coming up for the weekend, and they do a great job keeping everybody up to date. But as long as the weather's great, you're going to have gates open at 4, racing starts at 6 and goes until about 9, and you're going to have a blast. So go see them, Veterans Motorplex, this season going through the end of October. And if you've got questions, you can call Jerry, 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725, and always let them know that U-Turn sent you. Okay, so let's start. Girls, y'all get up on that microphone. What do your friends think about what you do?
Well, do you want to know about church friends, music friends?
Oh, okay. So, I'm wondering about school because I mean, you got to get to school, so they're going to head out the door at 7:30 because they got to get to school, and so you're at South Haven, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, what do your classmates think about what you do?
Well, I know me personally. There's a guy in my class, and whenever I mention that I have a show, he says, "Oh, I want to come play with you. So I think that they think it's cool, but they're kind of a little iffy about it because it's something they're not used to. Like, they always listen to the new music. And
yeah, they're like, bluegrass, what's that?
They just don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hesitant.
Okay, what do you think?
Most can't understand. Like, I play mandolin. They always think it's a small guitar.
Oh,
So,
and it's I love mandolin. I just love it.
yeah, they think we play like new country, like Morgan Wallen and all those people. But
So, and at church,
idea.
I know some of your friends from church, and they're like, well, they're on the road all the time. We see them sometimes, but y'all do travel a lot on the weekends.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but when did you guys start doing this? How old were you when you started up?
I think I was 6 or 7. And
Okay.
I was 5.
Well, see, and I remember talking to your mom about how that she had you invest in it. And you would save your money to pay for lessons, and I mean, we talked early on.
Yeah, we still do that.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool because it's not just mom and dad paying for your lessons. It's like, if you want to do this, you got to get some skin in the game, and I think that's made the difference with you guys is because you see the value of it, right?
Yeah.
So you play guitar and mandolin, right, or just mandolin?
Play a little bit of guitar, but I mostly play fiddle and mandolin.
Okay, I knew there was more. Now, what about you? Are you guitar strictly?
No, I play guitar, dobro, upright bass, and I play a little bit of mandolin. Pretty much anything that has strings, because I also play the piano.
Okay, I kind of thought that. I knew both of you had multiple instruments, but I knew one of you was like an overachiever. Right. Ha ha ha. No, I'm
I
kidding.
guess that's me.
Well, you both are, because I saw too your little deals. I mean, how many different mandolin songs did you put up on social media that time? I mean, what was it, like 100? I don't know. 100 in 100 days.
Yeah.
It was so cute. It was just adorable. It's like 100 mandolin songs in 100 days. I loved it. It was very good. Anything that you want to share before I'm going to let Mr. Atchley talk about some of the upcoming events, and then maybe y'all play another song. Do you have another song you want to play?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So anything else you want to share before we hand the mic back to Mr. Danny?
We don't only do bluegrass. We do some gospel and new-ish country, like 80s.
Okay. Newish, like 80s. Well, when you're talking bluegrass, people don't understand, though. New bluegrass songs come out all the time. People, that One Street Over song, that's an original from the Ridgetop Ramblers that came out, I don't know, 10 years ago. Maybe, it may not even be that old. But there's new bluegrass songs coming out. People think, oh, it's all the old stuff. No, man, there's new stuff coming out all the time. And so y'all going to write some bluegrass tunes? Yeah, I think y'all got it in
I
you.
haven't gotten there yet.
You can get it. The kids that y'all play with, of the 6 kids, have any of them done any originals?
Lily has our main guitar.
Okay.
Noah has.
Okay, I
Noah
had a
plays
feeling.
Fiddle, so he has a lot of fiddle songs he's just made up.
Okay. That's so cool. I love it. I love these talented kids and just the discipline of it all. Okay. Danny, grab the microphone. Talk to me about what's coming up, and then you guys get ready to play another song.
Well, let's sell something first.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because the Tri-State Ramblers, we have the album, the CD album,
Let's show it
on
again.
sale at the Robertson County History Museum. You can buy a copy, $20, and all the proceeds go to the Robertson County History Museum.
It's wonderful.
Because this whole project started out not only to celebrate the Tri-State Ramblers, but also as a fundraiser for the History Museum.
Awesome.
That's how I was able to get Travis and Jim to help out, and don't leave out Robert Brown, because he was a big help. That's the girl's dad.
Their daddy.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He stays behind the scenes.
He does, but terrific guy. And
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
but we do have it on sale at the Robertson County History Museum in the gift shop. They're $20. And let me just say this. There's some songs on here I've listened to over and over again that are not only just good, but doggone it, I think great. And
Yeah.
one of my favorites is the 3 Men on a Mountain that the girls sing. It's just tears will well up in your
Really?
eyes. It is haunting.
Okay, I'm going to go listen to it.
Really good. Listen to it.
Okay.
Listen to
so
it.
what's the history on 3 Men on a Mountain?
Well, that's one that I sing, and originally when I sang it, it was just straight story of the thieves on the cross and how one repented and one didn't, and just all that. But then
Wow.
we got together and we were putting all 3 parts together, and I was like, hey, what if we stacked it at the beginning and did an a cappella part at the beginning? So it's really just heart-wrenching at the beginning.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Because you have the lead come in, then you have above and below, but they all come in staggered,
Yeah.
and they hold out that note, and it's just, the harmony's awesome.
I cannot wait to hear that. Oh, Danny's going, I can just imagine. That sounds wonderful. I'm so proud of you girls. I'm so excited for y'all. This is just cool, and you're just getting started.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about it.
And I'll say one more thing too. We are planning. This was the first album with the Tri-State Ramblers, but we're already planning a sequel, Volume 2. Tri-State Ramblers live at the Robertson County History Museum, Volume 2, and this will be coming up in April 2024, not that far away. And we're going to record them again. We're going to have another live concert in the History Museum. This time we're hoping to sell maybe a few more tickets, because we're going to move the exhibits around in the museum where we can probably gain a few more seats. But this will be a nice event, and that will also coincide with the next day. We're going to host the Robertson County History Museum, in cooperation with the city of Springfield, a music festival on the Courthouse Square in downtown Springfield.
Love
It'll be
it.
an all-day event.
I love
the
it.
Tri-State Ramblers will be performing there live. But the night before, on the 26th, I think it is, of April, they're going to do their live concert again. So we're
Okay.
excited about that. That's all happening at the History Museum.
This is cool. I love it. This is awesome. And I just, I want to put in a vote for a Christmas concert maybe next year. I know it's probably too late to do something now, but I think y'all could. Have y'all put together Christmas stuff?
Yeah, we can We get some together sometime when we're
See, I think we need a Christmas show.
Well, we might can do that.
Wouldn't that be
We
fun?
might can do that.
Because we're going to light the Christmas tree and all that kind of stuff down there. Let's do something for
A lot of
Christmas.
things going on.
I know.
Really
One
thought
more thing to
about
put on your plate, Danny.
Oh yeah.
Come on, and girls.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to play, guys, before we run out of time? We've got still a few more minutes, but what else are we going to play here?
Well, we've been working on a gospel song, and it's one we originally heard Jamie Daly and Darren Vincent do. It's a cappella gospel song.
Right?
I don't know the name. What's the name? Mom, what's the name? Shoot.
Just do.
Don't you want to be a servant for the good God Almighty?
Okay, don't you?
Good
Good God Almighty is the
Good
name.
God Almighty. I like it. I love it. Okay, and so let's hear it, girls.
Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna go to heaven when you die? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna go to heaven when you die? Down in the land of Galilee, down by the sea that's so deep. My Lord said, Simon, if you love me, then go and feed my sheep. Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna go to heaven when you die? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna go to heaven when you die? Now Jesus was a Son of God. He died upon that cruel cross. He died for you. He died for me, that we might not be lost. Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna go to heaven when you die? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty, for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna be a servant for the good God Almighty? Don't you wanna go to heaven when you die? Don't you want to go to heaven when you die?
Oh my goodness, I just love it. Y'all are so cute. I'm so proud of y'all. And I know Mama's just over there beaming. It's just so cool. We've got just a couple of minutes here, but did your mom say, hey, do you want to do this, or did y'all ask? I'm just curious.
No, we've heard that song all our lives, and we're like, that'd be a cool song to do.
Not just the song. I'm talking about wanting to get into music, because now I know your mom plays a little bit too. So was this something that she suggested, or you was like, I think we want to play some music? What was it? It was all y'all?
Yeah, Reagan started taking fiddle lessons.
Okay.
Our original dance teacher down on Main Street.
Okay.
And originally we would go to competitions just for clogging, and we'd see all these people singing and playing instruments, and it was just real fascinating. So
Yeah.
we just decided to take it on.
I love you guys. You're so cute, and we're just all so proud of you, and so proud that you're part of the Robertson County Springfield community. And I know Mom's just beaming over there. Way to go, sis.
Crying.
Huh? What'd you say?
She's over there crying.
Oh, y'all are just, it is cool. It is cool to see your kids work so hard at something and to get the recognition that you are getting right now. It is neat. Thank you, Danny, for helping get these young people. I mean, isn't this beautiful?
This was a
Just,
fun project.
of course.
For me.
Yeah.
Jim and Travis, all three of us said, well, we'll do this again. And we may even do it maybe offer to some other local bands
Sure.
too. This is something, the History Museum, trust me, we're not getting into the recording industry, but we were able to put together a team to make this happen.
Yeah.
And I think to have our very first album by the Tri-State Ramblers with Amelia and Reagan both on board,
It's awesome.
really a great thrill for me. One of my greatest thrills I've ever put together.
It's just a blast, and I'm so glad. I mean, when y'all were telling me all about this, I thought, oh, I just love this idea. Now, I will say, we need a digital download. Do you have a digital download, or is it only a hard copy CD?
All we've got is a hard copy CD.
Okay.
So it was easier for us to do it that way. That's not to say we won't do that in the future.
Well, this could be digitally. This could be done digitally and all that. I'm just telling you, we got to get you into this century, brother.
I'm working on it.
We got to get the digital downloads going. I've got some other friends of mine, the guys over at Epiphany. They have a album that just came out, and I told them they were talking about CDs, and I'm like, digital. So we gonna y'all, Mom, we got to get this digital.
Call me old fashioned, but don't. I love to be able to see something that I
do
can
too.
hold.
And this is perfect for the museum.
Photographs.
It is perfect for the museum.
It tells the story. So.
But
that you can't do with the digital like what we can with that, and that's and the albums right now, the old vinyls are they're really selling well. So
right,
we ought to be able to offer it.
I'm just teasing you.
Well, I know you are, but then again, we've been selling a bunch of CDs.
That's just it. Well, and this is something these Christmas guys right here.
There's a Christmas present.
There's a Christmas present.
$20.
Last 3 or 4 years, I've gotten part of my Christmas shopping done at the museum.
Yeah, and we're getting a whole new bunch of stuff up there.
Because my kids are not here, but they love Robertson County. And so anything that reminds them of home, they love.
Right.
Go to the museum, get these for Christmas, load up on them. Just wonderful. Girls, thank you for coming in. Get to school. Yep. Y'all got to head out. Thank you, Danny.
Laverne.
Thank you so much. And as we make the switch, thank you, Dr. Danita Brown. She has gotten her I'm so proud of my sister in Jesus. She has worked so hard, and she's at Lipscomb, my alma mater. We're so proud of her. She's doing a podcast, too. We need to get Danita in here and talk about that. Bye, Danny. Thank you so much. And we're going to make the switch. We're going to talk to some fellow educators. Muriel, Jenny, y'all come on in. And we're going to talk to some fellow educators as we reset, talking about the Christian Educators Union that you can be a part of if you're a teacher. But while they're getting in and getting set, I want to talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. If you want to get out and just have a whole lot of fun, if you're like me, sometimes you just need to take a break. I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday. I was in a meeting, and she was talking about the need just to get outside sometimes and to just take a break and just get into nature. And, you can do that anytime at the greenhouse. Amy says, you don't have to come out and buy anything. Just come walk through the greenhouse. It's just something that just kind of helps my spirit when I can go out there, because that smell, it's just, I don't know, the smells and the familiarity, it's something from my childhood, because I used to go to the greenhouses all the time with my mom when I was a kid. But the Corbins are just wonderful friends, great sponsors of this program. And right now, they got great stuff. We're coming out of the, kind of starting to get into a little bit of coolness in the air. Going to have the tobacco barn smoking here pretty soon, kind of getting into that kiss of fall. And you need to replenish maybe the flower baskets that you didn't water really well on your porch. Maybe you need to get some fresh ones in. I know, I'm talking to me. And the mums will be coming out mid-September. All those things, but while you're out there too, go in the shop and see what Miss Jane has brought out. Miss Jane is always doing some kind of handcrafts. All my pot holders now are from Miss Jane. And you can also get your CBD products that help me tremendously with my arthritis. If you've got questions, call them at 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. You can go see them at 4920 Highway 161, 4920 Highway 161. They are open summer hours right now, 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday and Sunday. They're 1 to 5. And when you get by there, always please thank them for sponsoring and let them know U-Turn sent you. All right, I got my coworkers. Well, and Muriel not anymore, because she's just abandoned us. She only taught for 31 years math. I can't even imagine. I can't. Jenny, can you imagine? No, get right up on that microphone for me, okay? But Jenny Lipscomb is one of my co-workers at Greenbrier. And what do you exactly teach?
Okay, so I'm a family consumer science teacher, which is now human services. So I teach fashion design, intro to human studies, and lifespan development.
And those are the kinds of subjects that the kids are like, oh, I want to take that. And then Muriel, you taught forever.
Yeah, Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. No one chooses those.
No.
It is, we have to do it, so we might as well try to have a little fun along the way.
And I have talked to so many of your former students who have just sing your praises to the moon and back, because they just absolutely love you, and they just like, oh, I hate that Miss Barnett's not teaching anymore. But now she's a full-time stay-at-home dog mom. How's Bear?
Bear is fabulous.
I love Bear.
He was 12 weeks old yesterday. 33 pounds, almost 34
he's so cute.
Pounds.
So, and full disclosure here, Muriel is one of my very best friends. She's one of my church sisters, and helps me with CR and all the things that we do, and we just hang out together. And
Jenny said, "Have you ever been on the radio show before?" And I went, Yeah.
Because one of us one night, it was not that long ago.
It's not that long ago. I was sitting here with the dog. I brought the dog. I brought the puppy because she needed somebody to come talk to her
And I asked her the night before.
the night before.
That's fun. It was
Well,
That's
we were
last minute.
we were talking too about teaching because she had just retired, and I wanted to talk just about the opportunities and the need and all those things. And I joke around that I've got to get my T-shirt that says "What would Muriel do?" You know, and I'll play on, you know, what would Jesus do? But I'm going to get my shirt because she's my go-to. I call her. She helped me set up my grade book the first year I did it, you know, last year, and I'm still don't know how to do it, but.
I can help show you.
Anyway, but I'm learning. Well, I talked to Miss Story. Miss Story,
good, yeah.
Miss Story, God bless her. She had just been through a lot of the things I've been through, and so she's like, "Let me help you." And I'm like, "Thank you." It was just, you know, just so helpful. I was in her room yesterday, and she was helping me figure some stuff out. So you need that with teachers, and you need that. You just need those mentors, and you need those help that just kind of come alongside each other. And one of the things that has come alongside is the questions I've been. I just really I love all my fellow teachers. I don't want to join the traditional teachers union because I do not want a penny of my money going to anything that does not support the life of the unborn, and that's just the bottom line. I will die on that mountain. I will shout till the end of my days. It is murder. You got to quit it. There's no reason to terminate pregnancies. That is a life in you. And I mean, I get real upset about it. So if you're wanting my money and you're supporting anything that does not protect the life of the child in the womb, I can't do it. But I want the protections of, you know, people will, you know, oh, she said this or she said that. And maybe that's not what I meant, and they take it out of context. I've been in the media a long time. We get taken out of context all the time. And you need somebody to have you back. So there's the Christian educators.
Yep.
Talk to me about this, ladies. Who wants to start?
I will start because Kathy Doris, who was going to come and talk to you, she's now a librarian at Crestview. She was at Greenbrier years ago when I was there. She is who introduced me to Christian educators. And it was at a time that the NEA, not the TEA, not RCEA especially, but the NEA was supporting things I just didn't agree with.
Right.
And I was like, I cannot give them my money. And so she said, well, I've been a member of Christian Educators, and I looked it up and did a little bit of research. One of the big draws is it's a third of the cost.
Oh, wow. I don't think I realized that.
It is a third of the cost of being a member of NEA. And as you just said, they don't give any money to anybody, to any one party. They don't support other stuff, only Christian-based things. And they provide legal services. They're second to none as far as, and that was their website. I've never used their legal services, so I do not have a personal story about that. But it's $2 million of liability. Just, that's what you get. And you can have local representatives if you want. Just, you know, they will work with you. The thing that I really like the best is a very small thing. You can sign up for a daily devotional, and it comes straight to your email. Mine was my school email, which I don't have anymore, so I haven't gotten them. But it's a teacher or a former teacher telling a story about something that happened in their classroom, or somehow to relate Jesus to your life or Jesus to your kid's life. And if you got 4 minutes, 3 minutes to read that in the morning when the first thing you get to school, that's what you do. I don't know if that's what you do. But it starts your day right. It just puts you in the right frame of mind. Sometimes you don't have time to read it till you're planning. Sometimes you don't have time to read it until 4:00 in the afternoon, but it's still there. You know it's there. And it's, you know, it's a good thing to have as a grounding for the day, to know that there are hundreds, thousands of people in the United States fighting the same battle in the same mission field that you are.
Yeah. Very good. And so have you had any specific, and that's one thing, you hope you never need that. But I'm so guarded because I'm still part-time. I mean, I still work part-time for Madison Church of Christ.
Right.
And so the kids know that. I was full-time ministry when I got recruited to come back into teaching. I can't hide that. In my personal spaces, I have evidence of my Christianity. That's in my personal spaces. My husband asked a question the other day. Maybe y'all can answer. He's a criminal justice teacher. He said, we can hang the 10 Commandments in the schools. Can I put it up in my classroom because that is the foundation of law? And so I said, I think that's a question for your principal, but I don't know. Can you answer? Have you had experiences like this? Pull that microphone right to you, Jenny.
I have. So Kathy Doris is the same one when I started teaching who kind of told me about it. And it was, I did it for cost. I was a young teacher. That was great. But my beliefs and values. Well, shortly after that, we had an instance where different belief systems are being introduced and kind of some transgender things introduced, and students wanted to be called different names and things. So what was great about CEA at the time, Christian Educators Now, is that I was able to call their office. They took my question. They called the lawyers immediately, and within probably 2 or 3 hours, I had all my answers I needed about the best thing to do is to call the child by the legal name, what I could have in the room, the different ways to handle things. I have called them several times about just small instances, and I've gotten answers within hours.
Right.
Not an email that sits on somebody's desk for weeks. It's very quick. Andy, who is our Tennessee kind of state representative, just loves on us. She answers questions quickly. So for like your husband, if he was to call their office, they would ask the lawyer would tell you. And every time I've asked, they've said, you want to follow your principal's rules, because you're under contract with them. But if it goes against a right that you have, then they'll gladly send an email to your principal or help you out. So it's a little different than the representation a union gives. We have actual lawyers that give us our information who have educational background.
Okay.
And so your money that you're paying each month goes to helping you know how you can legally express your beliefs in your classroom and get those answers. And so if he was to call them, he would have answered probably today.
Okay, and that's the thing. Because I thought it was a very good foundation question, because the things that I have are in my personal space area,
Right.
So it's like, this is the class stuff, this is my personal space stuff. And so, I'm fine, I know, in where I'm doing. But now that, to put it on the wall as part of your curriculum, to say that's the foundation, I said, I think, number one, you start with your principal, but then, and we haven't signed him up yet, so we got to get him signed up. But he's just getting it. He's just...
And there's a husband-wife discount.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
There's a spouse discount if both of you are in it. Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Awesome.
There's a full-time teacher. I'll go ahead and I've got that written down.
Okay.
It is $259 per year.
Okay.
And I would just pay it all in one chunk. I think they may have an option where you could...
You were telling me.
I pay
monthly.
22 and some change a month. It just comes out automatically.
Yeah.
And then for husband and wife teachers, it's $399
Awesome.
for both of
You're
you.
saving a little over $100. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
For both of you together. And I don't even know how much the teacher education dues are.
I don't either.
I don't have any idea because
I
it's
was
been
thinking
so
it
long.
used to be $600 to $800 a year.
Oh wow.
And they pull it out every month, so it's like, oh, you won't even notice. Yeah. But you've got to do the research and I honestly and truthfully, I know some really sweet people that are very involved with it, and I respect the heck out of them. I just don't agree with the foundations of the groups that they're involved with. Good people.
Yes, our Robertson County people are
amazing.
They're my friends.
Yes,
I have known some
absolutely.
of them
So I don't
30
want to
years.
go there because they are super good people, and I respect them highly. But I think that we need to be more public about making sure people know this is an option, because a lot of teachers are like, oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
And so we've got to get better at getting the word out. That's why, and I appreciate Lee Marie. She's the one who said, hey, do you know anything about this? I'm like, yeah. And so Lee Marie, I didn't do this. Lee Marie set this up. I had Muriel and Jenny both are like, so are we coming on the radio with you? And I'm like, huh? Lee Marie's been working behind the scenes. Oh, and by the way, if you're expecting to hear from Ryan Martin today, the schedule got kind of wonky, and so he is actually, somebody else is coming in tomorrow to talk about the city and the mayor and alderman meeting that happened last night. It's one of those where we had because it's always on like the third Tuesday, and so sometimes when the calendar doesn't fall where Monday's the 1st, the meetings come up quicker. And and I had it straight in my head at the first of the month, and then I forgot.
It happens.
So anyway, Brian's so gracious. Thank you. But we'll have somebody from his office in tomorrow to go over that meeting. Some people may be tuning in and expecting to hear from that. I tell you what, let's pause for a second. Let me go ahead and do my break. I saw Lee Marie coming. Now, who's hanging out with Lee Marie at 8? Are y'all both able to stay?
Apparently me.
I have to get to school.
Yes, me too. Me too. Are you first block planning?
I am.
Yeah, me too. And so, but we still got to get there.
I was going to say, which means they are giving up their planning time almost every day, and they probably are there till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, where they probably would be there anyway, but you just are losing that amount of time.
I was there until 6:45 the other day.
I have no doubt.
It was because of the beginning of the year, and plus I've got a teachers conference thing I've got to do next week, new teacher thing, and the state. Why in the world are you doing that during the school year? It's either right now in the fall or in the first as soon as we come back from Christmas. But every career teacher has to do it, and so I have to do it. I have to get it done within a year of getting my license and stuff. But I'm going next week, so I'm trying to get all my sub stuff together. And so, yeah, I was there until nearly 7. No, it's not. Quit.
Subs are a nightmare. Getting things together for subs is a nightmare.
But
go to school sick with 102 temperature and have to get stuff ready for a sub.
But you teach math.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's one thing. Mine's a little bit...
I guess y'all can leave stuff for people.
Yes.
We have an online program we can leave
Yeah.
online assignments through. So it has, because my first several years we had a textbook and it was a nightmare. But now it's like I can go in and type something in real quick, but it doesn't replace us being there.
No, it doesn't.
So you have to come back and reteach and make sure they got it. But it is a little easier with our online program.
Well, see, with me, I'm having them do preliminary things that we're going to finish on the back whenever I get back. I'm like, you get this done on this day, this done on this day, and then those are pieces that are applicable. They're going to come together in projects we're going to do the week I get back. So that's the thing, and and I'm so organized now. I've got photos for them to put their stuff in every day. I'm getting it, and Muriel knows what a struggle bus that is for me. Oh my goodness! Speaking of, do you have any idea what we're going to do for dinner tonight at CR?
It's like, we can talk about that on the radio.
Sure, why not?
Why not? I would love to bring hash brown casserole. Let's just let's just do potluck, because at 9:25 she texted us last night and said, "Hey, we got to figure out something for dinner tomorrow night. Don't text back because it's so late, but let me know what you want to bring."
I've seen that short notice several times here.
Well, what happened? Our sweet friends that handle the food, they went on this wonderful cruise and came back with COVID, and they're fine. But that just and so. But yeah, and so anyway, and I'm in charge. God help us, because I'm anyway. And this is my sweet friend who is my second in charge, and so she has to pick up the gauntlet. When I'm not there.
Thinking on the way, I was like, she's got to go to school. She can't put this together today. Who's going to do that, Muriel? You're going to do that.
We're going to do that
today as you go back home.
Well, and see, I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm going to be out the door. You're going to be on the air, so we might as well talk about it on the air because we're not going to have a chance.
So, Paul, we got this.
Yeah, Paul's watching. I can't see it because we're having internet connection issues with this thing. So
Mary will watch it later. Mary, we got this.
Yeah, we got it. It'll be fine. And I mean, we can always do pizza again. I mean, you can. CRs, we have become known as a CR that really kind of does a better food spread than most, because most of them do hot dogs, pizza. It's just, that's what you do. And so it's nothing. And well, now I'll tell you, Epiphany up here, they do a good job because Tina gets on it. But yeah, we're getting off subject. I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to do an ad real quick for my friends, Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Remember, Barry's got the office now on the square. They've got an Exit Realty office now, and he is the broker. You've got Rebecca is at the White House office, and we talk about them being a team. Well, I'll tell you, they actually are in competition with each other, but they do help each other out all the time. Rebecca she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. Barry came out of a marketing background. They've got unique talents that they come to the table with, and they're so wonderful to work with. Great folks in the community, and they're wanting you to go and look at their listings. There's new stuff coming up all the time. I was noticing there was a beautiful house listed in Greenbrier that I could teach your kids. You could, Jenny and I could teach your kids if you go and move into Greenbrier. But there was a great listing in Greenbrier. There's a couple of spots where they've got some acreage that you can pick up. But you need to go to sellwithbecky.com or buy.robertsoncounty.com. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Very easy to find all their listings. Or if you just, again, sellwithbecky.com or buy.robertsoncounty.com, and the listings will pop up. And if you want to just talk to somebody, you can call Rebecca anytime, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. And one of the things you're going to notice when you go and look at their listings is the beautiful photography. And sometimes you'll find videos and things like that because Barry's an expert at that. I'm sure Rebecca calls and says, hey, Barry, I need you to go get some pics of this place and this place. And it does it so beautifully. And if you're trying to sell property, you want people to see your property and take a second look, a third look. And the only way you can do that is with great photography and great videography. The walkthrough tours, he came and showed my students how to do that last year. He'll be doing that again because he's so helpful. So I'm sure we'll have him in the classroom soon again. But connect with them today at sellwithbecky.com or buy.robertsoncounty.com and tell Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team U-Turn sent you. Talking Christian educators. Is it just Christian educators unions or just Christian educators?
Christian educators.
Christian educator. How long have you been a member, Jenny?
So this is my 16th year. And so they were CEA.org, CEAI.org. I think it was a lot to say.
Christian Educators Association, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's two ways to join. There's a movement you can join just by following and getting emails. Like if you're not an educator or you are and you don't want to join yet, you can join the movement, which is free. Or you can be a dues-paying member where you get your $2 million insurance coverage, and all the other things. And there's more benefits. We get a monthly magazine. We get emails. There's all kinds of conferences and things you can go to. So once you actually dues-paying member join, you have all this access to teachers across America. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's beautiful to see how
there are prayer groups you can join. Yes. There's, their website is very navigatable. Yes. It's Christian Educators, no space, no dots.org. So Christian Educators, is it got an S? Yes. ChristianEducators.org. There's frequently asked questions. There's, if you want to join, click here. If you just want to know some information, click here. And you're really easy. I had not been on their website, and actually since they changed to Christian Educators, I've just, joined and sent my money in or whatever. And I don't know when they changed that over, but there was lots more stuff there than I realized that there was. Again, like there was a whole list of frequently asked questions that are really, they're just very concise, answered really well. And Jenny had those pulled up when she came in too, and I just had the website pulled up, and I wrote down some stuff yesterday. Just informative. It began in 1952, and it is in every state. So if you are a member and you move from one state to another, you don't have to change anything. Okay. You're just still a member. So that was something that might affect people. I did not know that. It hasn't affected me, but I thought that was that was a very good benefit, because I know a lot of times when you change, everything is local.
Yes.
So when you change, you've got to change everything, but this you don't. So.
And the website was updated. I want to say in the last year they added an app in the website. And Kathy Dorse, when she was at Greenbrier with me, there's free Bible studies on there about different topics. And so we did a Bible study after school. Of course, you have to do it on your own hours. But we were able to use that free curriculum that was written for teachers. Mm-hmm. And so it was a good character building and how to treat students. And it was it's all free because you're a part of that. Mm-hmm. So you get more than just the insurance. You get biblical support. Andy has called me before out of the blue and just said, hey, can I pray for you today? Or is there anything going on? And so you have that connection with other people too. And so I've heard though a lot of people say, well, if I leave my union, then how am I going to have a voice? And so that's something that did bother me at first. It was like, well, how am I going to have a voice? And so Andy had talked to me back then about your voice is when you go to your school board members, when you write emails to your superintendent and other people. So just because you're not a part of a union that can get in front of them sometimes more often, you still have a voice by contacting your school board members, by letting the people who are on in the union and are helping make those calendars and things, voicing your opinion. And so you still have that voice. It just looks different because you're doing it just as an educator and not necessarily a part of their union. But if you have good ideas, they still listen, and they still, I have a lot of good friends who are NEA or CATA, and because they're your friends, they still listen to you. They still want to know your opinion, and so it doesn't take your voice away. It just changes kind of the direction it comes from, and so they've been very supportive.
I love that. And there's so many questions that I have because I want to do it right. I want to do this right. And so I'm trying to be super careful. I've got a interview I did on Monday with Aaron Spradling. And it's talking about human trafficking, kids guarding their activity online, all these things, educators. And as I'm blocking it out into little segments that I'm going to share with Dr. Osborne, and I'm going to share some of it with the kids. Well, because this is a Christian radio station, I talk a lot about Jesus and all that. And I'm going, well, do I need to edit that out? Those are questions because but it's a live show, but and I have a hard time editing that out. But then if I'm going to present it in the classroom, I don't know. So I need to make a call because I'm a member.
Yes.
And I need to talk to him because when Aaron came in live, he himself, he may say things, but he's not the teacher.
Right.
That's the difference. That's the thing. I want so hard not to overstep the line, but in the same sense, I am a follower of Jesus Christ, and I am not going to hide that. I'm not going to hide my light under a bushel.
Right. And that monthly magazine has a lot of those stories. And in the back, there's usually like legal advice of the month where questions have been written in that they think other people may need to know. And so a lot of times I've had a question and I've read through the monthly magazine. I'm like, okay, there's my answer. This is how I handle that. And so there's so much support with getting those answers that I don't feel like other people get. But you're in such a good tight knit group with Christian educators, you're going to get those answers, and you're going to feel confident the lawyers are backing you. Right.
And that's the thing. I just need to consider, because, as I was putting all this stuff together, I thought, well, first I'm going to run it by Dr. Osborne, principal first. Yeah. And then, because we live in a faith-friendly area. We're very blessed.
And you want to do chain of command, too, so that you're honoring your principal.
Yes,
absolutely.
For sure. But we live in a very faith-friendly, we're in, we'll have something with teachers' meetings or something like that, and they'll bless the food. They'll have a prayer. Praise the Lord that we still do that, because there's a lot of areas. When I was having some conversations I'm doing this Teach Now program for my license, and the conversations that we had in there, they were talking about, well, you don't do this, and you just don't let any, you don't, if you have a Bible on your desk, you might, upset somebody that's Muslim or something like that. But it's like, but that's my desk. And why would I not? And then we got into a conversation. You could see it made a lot of people very uncomfortable very quickly. But, I had a student ask me one time, I said, I remember we're off Friday. And he goes, why? I said, well, it's Good Friday. And he goes, what's that? And I said, well, Easter is Sunday. Oh, it's a religious thing. And I didn't say anything. And then he goes, what's that all about?
He opened the door.
They ask you a question, you can answer whatever. For sure, before every test, my kids, they have, some of them use it as their senior quote. Always say, you can look up for inspiration, down in desperation, but never side to side for information.
Oh, that's
I prayed
good.
for you today that you would remember what you studied and be able to get it on the paper.
That's
like
awesome.
that is what I said before every test, probably for 20 years. And they know they know. And then I had somebody ask me, "Do you really?" I'm like, "Well, do you think I would lie about that?" And they're like, "Well, no." And I said, "Yeah, I pray for you every day on the way to school. I pray for you every day. If it's a test day, sometimes you get 2 or 3 prayers. If it's a major test day, I will pray during the moment of silence. I will pray on the way to school. I probably prayed while I was getting ready, and I probably didn't sleep well, so I probably prayed during the night too."
Yeah.
They're like, "Thanks, Miss Barnett." They appreciate it. They may not even be believers, but again, planting a seed.
That's right.
And we may never see the growth of that seed, but it's there. They know where we stand. I've had kids ask me, why do you stick by the rules so much? I was like, well, because one, I'm a rule follower, and that's the integrity of what we're supposed to do. You do the right thing, whether anybody's watching or not. And, I was very blessed at Heritage to work with. I don't know anybody there that teacher-wise that was not a believer. And if they were, they did make that known, that because we were, the majority of people there are Christians. And when you can work every day with Christians, it just makes everything a whole lot better. People say, and the kids maybe or maybe not. Because, I've had a kid ask me what Easter was. Can you tell me a little? Yeah, I'll be glad to tell you about that. But if the people you're working with and the lunch conversations, and it just makes everything a whole lot easier to navigate if you're working with Christians. And we are very blessed here in Robertson
We
County.
really are. And we're at the top of the hour here. We got a couple of minutes. Jenny, do you have any parting thoughts? Because you and I got to get out the door and get to school. Miss Retired Teacher, full-time dog mom, is going to hang out with Lee Marie. But
I feel like Jenny had more information than me. I may be.
I thought y'all both had a ton of stuff. I think this was awesome. And I like this from the different perspective. I mean, I think this has been really good because there's so many questions, but y'all have really got me, I had questions. I'm a member, but I had questions. And so I appreciate so much your inputs. Do you have any parting thoughts before we hit the door here?
Well, if you're a Christian and you want support, insurance, and a group that is there for you, I think you should join. If you have any questions, if you know Kathy Doris, reach out to her or either of us. You can get our email addresses or from Laverne, and it would be awesome to meet more people in the county or the area who are interested.
Okay, very good. And I've got some flyers and things they sent me. You can find me at school if you're at Greenbrier or just around. And I will put some stuff up in comments about this, but cannot say enough about it. There are options, guys. There are options. So check them out and be a part of the Christian Educators. And God bless you. And let's keep bringing Jesus to the kids. We don't have to be in their face about it, but they'll see it. They'll see the light, and they might get curious about what's going on. We can plant those seeds. Appreciate you ladies so much.
Thank you.
I will see you at school. I will see you tonight. And I'll text you. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the food. We'll figure it out. God bless you guys. This is 1100 WSGI. This is one street over. I want you to stay tuned because I got Sweetly Marie coming up next, and she will have the Go Show coming up right after this. Again, this is 1100 WSGI.